school regularly in 2018. He presented three semester projects of the Honors Research Conferences in 2017 and 2018, belongs to the Fellowship's Christian Athletics as an officer, and worked as a peer mentor at the Honors College student organizations. Work experience has been with the Hobby Lobby as a stock person and cashier, along with being front desk attendant and the champion and a member and involved with the Champion Forest Baptist Church to help pay for the education. Involved in the church, they have served on mission trips along with working on disaster and flood relief mud out teams, removing drywall and insulation from damaged homes. Looks forward to finding an internship, starting a career. I would like to also thank Gail Menier, Dan Dickey, for working on this scholarship as well. Just on a side note, it really pleases me to read about these students that are going on and that we're able to give this scholarship. And I certainly appreciate that very much. I'm a retired educator myself. And I look around here, and I said this the other day, I think all of us love POCI, the Pontiac Yoga and GMC. But we also need to share this with our youth, and we can do this in so many different ways. And I think we need to start maybe in our own clubs and organizations thinking of that. And I would just say this as I close. Our local, where I live in Salisbury, Maryland, has started a thing with youth with scholarships and activities through our CTE vocational school. But even to the point of merely inviting a child to join us in the Christmas parades in one of our vintage cars. And that's the beginning. 2 years ago in Philadelphia at the winter meet, one of the most outstanding things was pointed out by our youth were cranked windows. So I think that tells you something. Thank you all, and enjoy and have a safe trip home.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, we'll go ahead and start with the chapter newsletter editor certificates. I'm going to ask for Mary and Simone to come up and help me hand those certificates out, please. First certificates go to Jack Anderson as a new newsletter editor for the 2+2 chapter. Let's go ahead and come up and we can do the applause in the big slide, if you don't mind. Just been informed that the newsletter editor for the 2+2 chapter is John Bergman. Thank you, Jack. For the Alabama chapter, Santiago Glass with 5 years. If no one is here to accept it, just let us know, or if you are a member of that chapter, just come on up and take it on their behalf if you don't mind. The Alabama area, Troy Smalley with 2 years. The All-American Oakland chapter, Jim Orninsmark. Sorry if I butchered the name, with 4 years. Everybody heard? And the Arch chapter, Dave Stratford with 7 years. Next, we have the Arkansas River chapter, Richie Levin with 3 years. The Australian performance, Richie Levin is a new editor for that chapter. The Badger State, Chris Watchell with 2 years. The Black Hawk chapter, Dean Fate with 7 years. Central Oklahoma Pontiac Association, Joel Mann with 5 years. And the Colorado chapter, Gary Kennedy with 13 years. Next, we have the Cruising Tiger GTO Club. Thomas Kaplan as a new editor. Because Safari, Rich Pye, 19 years. Del Marlborough chapter, Robert Dunbar, 2 years. And the Desert Renegades of Arizona, Matt Punches with 4 years. Okay, next we have the Early Times chapter with Tanya Levert. It's a new editor. The Firebird chapter, John Foley, 15 years. And apologize, there was a couple of chapters that we will need to create new certificates for. So if the Firebird chapter is on the way up, we apologize. The Florida chapter, Rich Fedor with 8 years, and the Garden State chapter, Bill and Brittany Wolf with 24 years. We created a certificate for each of them, so we no longer have to share the same certificate. We okay down there? Okay. So we'll keep causing trouble? Okay, that's good. Next one, the GMC truck chapter, Paul Bergstrom, 11 years. God's Country, Jeff and Heather Bice, which is it? Bice, as new editors, and we also need a certificate for you guys too. So, the Grand Prix chapter, Paul Bergstrom, 7 years. The Greater Ozark chapter, Dylan Florence as a new editor, and the Hoosier Pontiac Oakland, Mark Henderson, 8 years. The Illinois chapter, Michelle Condon, 2 years. The Indian Nations Pontiac Club, Tom and Tanya Parker, 2 years. Casey Arrowhead chapter, Brenda Wolf is a new editor. And the Keystone State, Richard Stover with 10 years. Joke. I asked Al Fanning if he could give me a good joke over some of these editors, but he didn't give me a good one, so I'll have to work on that for next year. We ready? Okay. Lincoln Highway chapter of Ohio, Bonnie White with 14 years. Little Indians, Gary Stover with 9 years. The Little Roadie, Gary Dinafrio, not here. 5 years. How bad did I butcher it? And Lone Star, Keith Denholz as a new editor. Okay. Next will be the Louisville Pontiac Club with Rick Kaiser. Kaiser, 7 years. Michigan Y Trackers, Mike and Jean Bartley with 4 years. Not here. Okay. Middle Ohio Valley Y Trackers, Jan Lundblad. I didn't do that one very good. 10 years. Motor City Chapter, Gaines McDonald, 2 years. And the National Capital Area Chapter, Joe Bonaluto, 8 years. Okay, the next one, the Nebraska Land Chapter, Claudia Mathis, 21 years. The North Coast Ohio Chapter with Tony Webster for 3 years. And the Northwest Ohio Chapter, 15 years for Peter Lungalo. The Nutmeg Chapter, Star Evans. Can anybody guess how many years besides Star? 38. It's not fair when you're looking at the slides. Star Evans, 38 years. Thank you, Star. The Old Dominion Chapter, Michael Abernathy, 4 years. Michael, we're going to need to get you a certificate for that one. The Old Pueblo of Arizona Pontiacs, David Green, 12 years. The Overhead Cameras, James Black, 7 years. And the Palmetto Chapter, Chris Johansson, 25 years. Next, we have the Piedmont Chapter, Tommy and Vicki Stutz, 8 years. The CPB Chapter, Paul Bergstrom, 20 years. The Pontiacs of Central California, John Berglund, 8 years. Pontiacs of Central Illinois, Michael Bryan, 4 years. And Pontiacs of Tennessee, Gary Dickinson, 21 years. Next, Puget Sound with Barbara Searley, 3 years. Six Nation, Jimmy Patterson Jr., 10 years. Southern California Chapter, Carter P., 6 years. South Jersey Pontiac Chapter, Chuck Catalano, 20 years. Street Rod Modified, Dan Marsh, 2 years. Tomahawk Chapter, Paul Bergstrom, 4 years. The West Michigan Pontiacs, Judy Hurtis, 2 years. And the Western New York Chapter, Barb Fuller, 18 years. And the Yankee Chapter, Paul Toole, 11 years. Next, we're going to move on to the chapter longevity recognition. Those are milestone awards given to the chapters that have been in existence for so many milestone years. Okay, first chapter with 5 years, The honorees go to the God's Country Pontiac Association Chapter 101. Representative Bowden. 15-year category goes to the Firebird Chapter, number 87, and the Everglades Chapter, number 88. '20-year awards go to the Pontiac Commercial and Professional Vehicle Chapter, number 79, and the South Jersey Chapter, number 80. The 25-year awards go to the Little Rhodey Chapter, number 63, and the Desert Renegades of Arizona Chapter, number 72. The 30-year honorable mentions awards go to the Early Time Chapter, 49, and the Grand Prix Chapter, 54. '35-year recipients: Piedmont Chapter, number 35, and the Alamo Area Chapter, number 36. And the 40-year awards: the Arch Chapter, number 14, the Michigan Wide Trackers Chapter, number 16, Colorado Chapter, number 17, the Old Dominion, number 20, and the Lone Star Chapter, number 24. Now we get into a small definition of the chapter awards. Except for the chapter display awards and newsletter awards, all chapter awards are now defined by the junior division having 50 members or less, and the senior division having 50 members or more. All newsletters are eligible for awards if sent to the judging committee. Newsletters are no longer required to be on display, but recommended for chapter displays. So I know some of the newsletter editors have not been sending their newsletter to the executive committee, particularly the secretary and the vice president. So when you get back, check on your newsletter editor to make sure that they are doing that to be in contention for the chapter awards. Greatly appreciate that. Chapters must file their annual report by May 30th with the vice president and secretary. Newsletters must be sent to the judging committee, and newsletters are judged bi-monthly and non-monthly awards. The non-monthly means bi-monthly or quarterly. Some chapters are doing that as well. I would like to say a word about the Golden Quill.
Newsletter awards.
Okay. We'll start with the non-monthly newsletter award. Each of the awards given will relate to a cash award as well. So $50 for The Award of Merit goes to the Michigan Wide Tracker chapter. The Award of Distinction goes to the Grand Prix chapter. They receive $100. And the Award of Excellence goes to the Overhead Cameras chapter. They get $150. Now we move to the Monthly Newsletter Award. The Award of Merit goes to the Cruising Tigers chapter, along with $50. The Award of Distinction goes to the Early Times chapter, $100. And the Award of Excellence goes to the Pontiac of Central California, and $150. Now we'll get into the best chapter displays. These were judged on many criteria established, and of course we publish a list of what that criteria is. So when you get your chapter display home, review the criteria to make sure that you're having all the needed information for that chapter display. The Award of Merit for Best Chapter Display goes to the Early Times chapter. The Award of Distinction goes to the Badger State chapter. Okay. And the Award of Excellence goes to the Western New York chapter. Okay, the next award goes to the best chapter with the Social Media Award, and that goes to the Pontiacs of Central California. The next award is called the Best POCI Promotional Award. This individual was nominated for his outstanding ways to attract the younger crowds to POCI. He instigated the beginning of a new POCI chapter, the Australian Performance Pontiacs chapter, and with this, the chapter is growing weekly with the push on Facebook and other online sources. In just 2 months, they currently have 40 members and 10 are brand new to POCI. Congratulations to Richie Lovin. Now, Chapter of the Year Awards. For the Junior Division, this goes to the Oak Pueblo of Arizona chapter. They had 11% in their membership growth, plus participated in several outside activities and held their monthly chapter meetings as well. Congratulations to the Oak Pueblo of Arizona chapter. For the senior division, The award goes to the Desert Renegades chapter with their 20% increase in membership from last year, plus the chapter meetings and outside activities as well. Thank you very much. And now to the point where there's more cash awards. Everyone likes cash, right? Chapter with the highest percentage of members voting. For the junior division, a $100 check goes to the Nebraska Land Chapter. Nebraska Land, are you here? I just gave that to the treasurer, so you're going to have a hard time now. And in the senior division, the chapter with its highest number of percentage voting goes to the Indian Nations chapter. And $100 cash as well. Now I'd like to recognize the Golden Quill Awards. These people have already received these awards, but they do need recognition. The Golden Quill Awards are handed out by the editors of Oak Cards Weekly. Anyone sending in their newsletters are eligible for awards. Divisions for different types and sizes of newsletters are determined by Oak Card Weekly. Anyone receiving an award this year has already received it from Oak Cards Weekly, including certificates of honorable mention. POCI wishes to recognize these members of POCI that received special awards for this year's awards. At the national luxury level, award goes to Editor Tim Dye for the Smoke Signals POCI. At the Regions Chapter full-size category, the Overhead Camera, the Overhead Cam Chapter POCI, Editor Jim Black. For the Regions Chapter Subcompact, the Rope Shaft Drive, from the Gwinnett Indians Chapter, Editor Gary Stolber. The same category, PMD Excitement, South Jersey Pontiac Chapter, Editor Chuck Catalano. In the honorable mention category, the GMC Times, GMC Chapter of POCI, the Tomahawk Chapter of POCI, both from the editor Paul Bergstrom. Also in that category, the Illinois Pontiac Chapter, Editor Shelley Condon. That's all for the awards, and I'd like to make sure each and every one gets their due rewards. I want to thank each chapter personally for all the hard work that they do throughout the year. I think everyone deserves a big hand. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce James Martin from the 2019 POCI Convention.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Martin from the Keystone Chapter, and I have with me Jack Anderson from the Marvin Chapter. The two chapters are going together. We're going to be hosting next year's event in, any guesses? Oh, historic Gettysburg. Yes. We've been working for about 2.5 years on this event. Our theme is that it's the best address in 2019. The team has put together a pretty comprehensive, family-friendly historical theme. We want to provide some new insights into the 1863 Battle of Gettysburg that so many people probably have not had an opportunity to see. And we're doing that in a variety of ways. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, good. We're doing that in a variety of ways. We're giving you an opportunity to possibly enjoy a fashion of the period and customs of the period. We are working on putting together an 1860s sporting event that's going to be interesting to people. We want you to relive some of POCI's rich history, and we want you to also reminisce about bygone POCI events and the glue that holds this great club together. We have some great tours of the area through beautiful Gettysburg and historic Adams County planned. So stay tuned for more specifics from the best address in 2019. We have a small film that we put together that kind of gives you a synopsis of what we have planned. So, Larry, please.
The world will little know nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. The Keystone State and Delmarva chapters are proud to invite you to the 2019 POCI Convention in historic Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. This historic site will inspire and engage you. Experience the history with tours of the battlefield. An unforgettable POCI night at the museum will include an exclusive and private after-hours access to the Gettysburg National Military Park Museum and Visitor Center, including the 360-degree cyclorama painting, film, and exhibits of battlefield artifacts and historic documents. Step forward into Gettysburg's history with a visit to the only home Ike and Mamie ever owned at the Eisenhower National Historic Site. Take into town with shopping, galleries, ghost tours, and local cuisine. Discover and enjoy Gettysburg's haunted nightlife with a family-friendly ghost tour. Gettysburg is central to so many amazing opportunities. The 2019 convention will include exciting tours like a visit to the world-class AACA Museum in Hershey, featuring the world's largest collection of Tucker automobiles and lunch, or buy your favorite chocolates at Hershey Chocolate World, the sweetest place on earth. A tour of Gary's Goats, where our GTO enthusiasts will enjoy the largest East Coast collection of GTO and Le Mans cars. Jay's Museum, showcasing the large J. Chris collection of meticulously restored, early stand-and-drive milk and bread delivery trucks. Or check out the Eastern Museum of Motor Racing, highlighting open-wheel, dirt track racing, Indy cars, NASCAR, and drag racing. To make the experience even more memorable, the 2019 convention will be hosted at Gateway Gettysburg. Located on the edge of town, the site offers everything in one spot: show car parking, swap meet, and trailer parking, along with the Wyndham Gettysburg Hotel, the Courtyard by Marriott, multiple restaurant options, and a movie theater. The 100-acre site, located along U.S. routes 30 and 15, is sure to make this convention one for the history books. The countdown has begun for this unbelievable experience. We can't wait to see you in Gettysburg. Let's make our own history.
T-shirts, and our T-shirts are available at the registration. I invite you to join us at the registration desk. But before I sit down and be quiet, I do want to say, I know some of you have already made reservations or attempted to make reservations. The Wyndham is our host hotel, and when you call that host hotel, please make sure you indicate it's the 2019 POCI convention. If you don't tell them 2019, the people that take the reservations at the Wyndham's Common Reservation office will not understand what you're saying. So make sure you say it's 2019 POCI convention. The other thing is that the Marriott, Courtyard Marriott is right next door. It's within walking distance. It's as far as from here to the back of the building. But they will not begin accepting reservations until the 2nd of August. It's the corporate policy that they have a certain time period that they will not begin taking reservations. So we have to comply and live with that date. Also, the Hilton Garden, which is a overflow hotel, one of 4 overflow hotels that we have contracted with to date, will not begin accepting reservations until August of this year. So please be patient. There are phone numbers. Call me if you have an issue, and we will try to work it out for you as expediently as we can. Thank you very much.
Gettysburg, that's going to be a very large convention. I advise you to get your reservations in early, because I don't think it's going to be a dull moment at all. Now I'd like to introduce Arthur Barrett and Jeff Morgan for some last-minute instructions for tomorrow.
Jeff.
Joe Morgan, I'm sorry. My I don't want these on, it doesn't help.
I know.
Would you prefer Jeff or would you prefer Joe? Joe Morgan and Arthur Barrett.
Yeah, I'm Art Barrett, the POCI Convention Coordinator. I want to thank you guys for coming this year, because I'm telling you, they've ran it really well, those chapters. Joe's done a great job organizing, and they're all just really tickled with you guys, as I think you guys are tickled with them at this convention. I hope everybody's having a good time. I'm going to say a couple of things, and Joe's going to give some details as far as tomorrow's Popular Vote Show field. You make sure you bring your fire extinguisher. I know you had to have it when you came through tech, but make sure you bring it and have it open out so everybody can see it, just in case we need a fire extinguisher. We got to have them there for safety reasons, and it's just we just need them there. The other thing is you're going to be coming in on the south entranceway right there by where the tech is at. If you're not on the show field now, you have to go down there, and it's like you're going to come back through tech, and you pull in there, and there'll be a bunch of their people there parking you, showing you where the classes are at. The windows, both front windows or side windows, driver and the passenger side, need to be down, hoods up, trunk up, just like always. And we want you on the show field by 8:30. It says 8 on the, we're going to give you the extra half hour, but it says 8 on the deal, but let's go to 8:30. You can wipe on your cars, do what you need to do. By 9 o'clock, in the protest period, you need to stop. That's when the show officially starts. You need to stay by your car, because if you get protested, you need to be there to talk to the judges and get that straightened out. We hope, if they went through tech right and everything was good, we shouldn't have any problems at all. please stay by your car at 9 o'clock until they come around, and at least till 10, I think it is, 9 to 10 is the protest period. Other than that, just enjoy yourself tomorrow, and Joe's going to give you instructions because we moved some classes around.
Thank you, Art. Thank you all for making the trip to Wisconsin this year. We've tried to work really hard and plan really hard to have a great event for you. There's been bits and pieces where we're trying to make it better. So one important thing to mention, if any of you have not been through having your photo taken of your car, I know we had some weather issues. Mother Nature threw us a curveball ball the other day. So we're going to have our photographer down there at 7:45. If you need a photograph of your car, please come through as you did through Tech, and she'll get a picture of your car. So that if you're a winner, you're going to be able to have pictures of you at the banquet. The second thing, I know I may not be a popular guy right now because we had some significant changes in popular vote classes. Between cancellations and reclassifications, after much planning and preparation of the show field, we had to make some significant changes this afternoon. You have my sincere apologies if we're needing you to move your car, but we need you to move it once. And the show field, by the time things get started tomorrow, should be beautiful. Everybody should be together. So I'm sorry for those of you who have to move, but the end product should make it very photogenic and enjoyable for all of you. So thank you very much. I got to thank all the people that have helped to make this happen, because without the members of God's Country Pontiac Association and Badger State Chapter, this couldn't have gone on. So, like I mentioned, 75 volunteers put in over 1,500 hours this week. And that's significant, and I'm eternally grateful to those people. So it's good to have you all. So,
where did they go for protest, Joe?
there are 2 bubble tents out there that stop in, and we will have people there for protest. That's right. We will have 2 ballot boxes out tomorrow. So at the south end of the show field, you'll be able to stop under those tents and be able to submit your ballots. We're also going to have event t-shirts this year. And for those of you who are hosting the 2019 convention, since Texas was so generous to allow us to sell t-shirts there, I think that we should generously extend that invitation to Pennsylvania as well. So you should be able to get your t-shirts there. Not to speak for you guys.
Pennsylvania, no.
What's that?
Pennsylvania and Delhi.
Thank you.
They are set up just like you come out the doors over by registration for next year. If you want to go talk to them and get shirts and start signing up, I'd advise you to do that, because it's going to be one of them crazy years next year, because it's going to be a huge convention being out east. So I'd be planning right now to go as far as getting your room and getting your reservations. So I assume we're dismissed. Larry, anything else?
Thank you, Art. Thank you, Joe. If you do have to move your car tomorrow due to the popular vote reclassing, I will ask one thing. I was talking with Joe earlier, and they've only made just a certain amount of extra class markers. And I've already witnessed 2 of them being run over and crushed, so.
It was about 5 or 6.
5 to 6 now, okay? So I don't know if they may have run out of extra by now, so just kind of do a quick scan around your car if you do have to move it to make sure you're not running over any wooden objects, so thank you. I personally would like to thank, I can speak for a lot of the POCI members, I'd like to thank God's Country Pontiac Association and the Badger State Chapter for doing a wonderful job at this convention. Let's give them a big hand. I'd also like to thank Ed and the staff and all the representatives of the Chula Vista Resort. They've done a fantastic job in making us feel welcome and offering such a fine facility for our international convention. Thank you, Chula Vista. I'd also like to special sponsors that we have. One of them being Ames, Ready Rad, and Jerry Price, Haggerty Insurance. Thank you very much for the sponsorship. Last but not least, I would like to thank all of you, because without you coming to the conventions, these things would not be possible. So, kudos to all of you that brought cars, other things, family, whatever. Thank you for coming to the convention. So with that, I'm going to close the program unless our beloved president has any final comments.
Did a fine job, it's good.
Apparently I've done a fine job. Thank you very much.